Hey everyone, I'm DJ Stevie Pete, and today I'm going to show you how to use the line generators that I made. Pretty much the idea around them is to make split screen content super easy, and also they have a bunch of other use cases too. First, what you want to do is download the line generators. They're in the descriptions. So download it, unzip it, open up a DaVinci Resolve project, grab any clip and drag it into the timeline, then hop into the Fusion tab. And then you'll see a media in and media out node. Just click on any of them, go to macro, create macro. Now what you want to do is file, save as, and you'll get this menu. This should also pop up for Mac users as well. Go back a folder and then go to templates, edit, generators, and then you won't have anything in there. And you might need to make this folder structure, but as long as it follows the exact way in the way that it's written out, it will pop up. But then all you got to do is just go to the unzipped folder structure and grab all the .setting files and just drag it over, restart DaVinci Resolve, and you should be good to go. Now let's go ahead and hop into how to actually use this. To start, you don't need any footage underneath these lines, but I'm going to use my lovely cat mashed potato as our model and footage for underneath this. To start out, I'm just going to use one of the line generators. I'll pick vertical, drag it on, and kind of think about this like an interactive PNG. When you're interacting, everything is going to be in the generator tab. And how this works, there is one base line that is drawn on, and that is what affects all of the top settings here up until allow combining. Below that is the copies. And how this works, right now I have 3 copies, which means I have 4 lines on the screen. The way that I choose how it spaces is with the X offset. Just to show, for example, how this works, if you move the X or Y offset, it moves everything, while if you use the X offset for the copies, it only affects the copies. That's the vertical, and everything that I said about the vertical line generator also applies to the horizontal one, except the baseline is on top as opposed to on the side. As you can see, this sets up a super easy 6-screen split, but you could easily do something different when you combine something like cropping to the situation. So let's say, for example, you wanted to have 3 splits at the bottom and 1 large one at the top. All you would have to do is in the vertical line generator, go to settings, cropping, crop top, and then I'm just gonna grab another one for right now, put it at the top of the stack, and then now move the offset so that it completes the border. Boom. There we go. Super easy. And now granted, you could just have this preset made, but this is for when you want to mix it around and make it something super special. That's where this next one comes in, which is the diagonal line generator, which is a little bit of a fib because you should think of this more as the freeform line generator. So you have the ability to mess with all of this to your heart's content. And so now, if you had a 5-screen split but wanted to kind of spice it up a little bit, you could just drag that on, crop from the bottom, and there you go. You have this interesting 5-screen split that you wouldn't have had otherwise. I'm just gonna quickly show you how to easily put all of your video clips into the different splits. So first thing you want to do is figure out where you want everything placed. Since this is all just the same clip, it doesn't matter. Once you have that figured out, go ahead and start resizing. The beauty of using splits is that you get to kind of reframe something that you already framed. Since, not much else is going on in the shot, I can make my face a larger image of this, right? I just crop the top, crop the side, and let's do that again. I'll just start with using the bottom 3 rows. Additionally, what you could do, if you want everything to be the same size, copy and then do Alt-V. You could copy over the attributes, and then you could just move it over, boom, perfect. Crop the top, crop the side, and then let's do the same exact thing to the 3rd clip. Now for the top ones with the diagonal line, and that's where it does get a little bit more tricky in DaVinci Resolve. To start out, go ahead and frame it to be just about where you want it. All right, I like that framing. Now I'm gonna make my way over to the color page. I'm gonna click on the one clip that I'm actually using, and I'm gonna right click, say add alpha output, right? and then you just drag that over. All you have to do is go in to the masks, and you'll want to do the curve tool. It just looks like a pen. And the reason why you want this is because it is incredibly easy just to finish off the clip like that. Now, all you have to do is, with the last clip, move it over, readjust, and wouldn't you know, we're good to go. Split screen. You could streamline it a little bit more, but that's just kind of how I do it real quick. That kind of simply explains everything. In the promo I made for this, it had some interesting split that, just kind of shows how quickly and easily you could crop together and make something interesting. But on top of that, you could use this to make some unique transitions. And I've already pre-baked some other uses for this. So, for example, you can make some really weird stuff with the diagonal line generator. You see this? This is just one, and I went in and made 80 copies, moved all of this around, and moved the offset and keyframed it so that more things added on, and it kind of made this weird expansion. There is a use case for it that I'll show off a little bit later. For now, it's just kind of a fun showcase of what it could do. For transitions, you could do something interesting like this. This was all with vertical line generators. I just changed the height, copied them, and stacked them, messed with the angles. That could be sped up, slowed down. If you were to mix it with something like the screen effect, then you could add some other layers of transitional stuff where it blooms into the next frame. But also you could use this during covers or videos or whatnot, where you could have the lines move diagonally or, grow in pattern. If you're doing a Christmas cover then and you wanted it to look like a candy cane, you could do something like this, have each frame show up, and you just have to animate that. But this is an easier way to achieve that instead of having a line and having to go through and do all that mess and making sure that it all lines up the same. This way it all just does it, grows, animates. You can do a bunch of fun stuff with this. Additionally, this is a more practical one. Let's say you're doing something from Legend of Zelda's Spirit Tracks and you wanted to have kind of a train track effect going on. You could have the main frame up here, all of the other instruments or collaborators at the bottom, and just animate as you go along, which is a bunch of fun. Now, let's say you're doing something from a super stylistic game, or you just wanted to make something interesting or have a cool visual effect. You could do something like this. What's happening here is, so I took this and I changed the color to green, and I put it on top, and it's the same exact animation that I did before. But now what I did is I made it into a compound clip so that it would act as an alpha on this other clip. I did that, and then I green screened out the lines and I put this other footage underneath. So you get this really weird, dreamy type of effect, which I think is interesting. It's not perfect. As you can see, some of the green is still in there, but I only spent 5 minutes on this. If I was doing this in a video, I'd spend more time. Additionally, you could also have something like this where it's sharper. It's interesting because, like right here, you could see my glasses, the outline of it, but I'm not there. And it's interesting. You could experiment with maybe having, if there's a duet or some type of other two instruments interacting with each other, you could have this on there, and I don't know, I just think it's cool, it's interesting. So that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm always happy to answer them, whether they're sent to me through email or through Twitter DMs. If you ever need help with anything film related, just let me know and I'm always happy to answer. Subscribe if you like, and maybe I'll see you in the next one if I make something else. Who knows? So, alright. Thank you.